It's time for another WrestlePlanet news update, as we look at whether Triple H told NXT talent that AEW bullied them off Wednesday nights, and AEW's Chris Jericho is set for a WWE appearance. All that and more coming up in today's video, but first, let's take a quick look at this week's AEW and NXT ratings as the Wednesday night wars come close to the end. With only 1 week left before NXT moves to Tuesday nights, AEW have once again came out on top in terms of both overall viewership and in the key demo. AEW drew a total of 700,000 viewers, down from last week's 757,000, with them also being down in the demo, going from 0.3 to a 0.26. NXT were also down in the overall viewership, bringing in a total of 657,000, down from last week's 678,000, although they were up in the key demo, going from a 0.14 to a 0.21. This marks AEW's 63rd victory in the overalls and the 73rd time that they have won in the key demo. AEW star Eva Lise hasn't been seen since the February 24th taping of AEW Dark, where she teamed with Diamante, losing to Kylie King and Red Velvet. When asked on Twitter why she hasn't appeared on AEW television recently, she responded saying, "If only I could speak," although the tweet has since been deleted. It was noted in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that there was an issue with Eva Lise and a few AEW coaches, and there seems to be some backstage heat preventing her from appearing on shows. It was recently speculated that a match between Eva Lise and Thunder Rosa broke out into a shoot fight, which could be linked to the heat that she has received backstage, although these reports of the shoot have been denied. She is reportedly still signed to AEW on a pay-per-appearance basis and is not signed to a full-time deal at this point. Eva Lise is still taking independent bookings and is the reigning Shine champion, making her last defense in January of this year. She is also scheduled to appear at a Ladies Night Out show in Tampa on April 9th, so this confirms that her lack of appearances isn't due to injury. Hopefully she can return to AEW television soon, as I feel like she's a solid part of the women's division, having been a fan of hers since her days in Lucha Underground. On a recent edition of the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer revealed that there was a talent meeting before this week's episode of NXT, where the show's move to Tuesdays was addressed by Triple H. According to Meltzer, the game told talent that AEW, quote, bullied them into the move away from Wednesday nights. Meltzer said, "So there was actually a team meeting before the show today about the move to Tuesday. So they started out talking about how 6 years ago at WrestleMania 31, how the little NXT promotion sold out a show in San Jose, and look how far we've come. And they've always been on Wednesday nights. And then the competition came to the night and tried to bully them, but now that they have Raw as the lead-in and they have the night to themselves, everything is going to change." However, Fightful Select have reported that their sources within the company have denied that Triple H said anything resembling to that they were bullied off of Wednesday nights, and according to Fightful, the move has been planned for some time, with talks potentially spanning back to as far as last year. And also, since this original report from Meltzer, he has since corrected his original statement, saying that 2 people within the company have reached out to tell him that the bully line didn't happen, although he confirmed that the meeting did in fact take place, with Fightful also confirming the rest of the statement from Meltzer. On a recent episode of Talk is Jericho, Chris Jericho spoke of TNT's unhappiness with AEW, that Sting's debut was kept as a surprise when he showed up on Dynamite in December of last year. Jericho said, "When Sting was a surprise, TNT was like, don't do that again. That's why Paul White was announced on social media, because TNT said, we don't want surprises, we want to take advantage of the ratings. We had a big surprise, a big announcement, and we used the big announcement to announce the next big surprise. I think that's one of the things too, to spread it out a little." Now honestly, I have to disagree with TNT's philosophy on this one. The element of surprise could make Dynamite more exciting, with fans knowing that anything can happen on live TV. If fans know that everything is going to be announced ahead of time, this could lead to less hype around the weekly episodes, resulting in a lower rating. Bringing the conversation to WCW, one of the most exciting things about Nitro was the feeling that anything or anyone could show up on the show at any time, which led to much of the buzz that the show received and the higher ratings that resulted from it. And before we continue, if you're enjoying the video, make sure you drop a like down below as it helps me out a lot. And why not subscribe as we head towards 10,000 subscribers. But let's get back to the video. Personally, I think this is a mistake, but hey, it's not my network. But let me know what you think of that in the comments down below. Would you prefer things to be a surprise, or would you like to know ahead of time? And finally, in a shocking announcement today, the WWE Network Twitter account has confirmed that AEW wrestler Chris Jericho will be appearing on an upcoming edition of Steve Austin's Broken Skull Sessions. While still under contract with AEW, this marks Jericho's first appearance on WWE TV since April 2018, where he was the final entrant in the 50-man Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. The tweet featured a countdown clock with the sound of Jericho's entrance playing over the top. The camera then zoomed out to reveal the two legends sat at a table together. Fans initially thought that this was an April Fool's joke, but then they checked the date and realized that it is now the 2nd of April. And Steve Austin and Chris Jericho have also both tweeted about the appearance, confirming it to be true. Regarding the appearance on the show, Chris Jericho tweeted, "Kicking open the forbidden door. Austin vs Jericho, April 11th on Peacock TV." The news has surprised many AEW fans who believed Jericho would never work with WWE again, although this move suggests that he could be open to a return in the future when his contract with All Elite Wrestling expires. Completely unrelated to this, make sure you check out my 10 WWE and AEW jumps that will happen in the next 5 years, and I mentioned Chris Jericho in that video. And to all the people that told me I was stupid and Chris Jericho would never work with WWE again, I told you so. But with that hate and negativity out of the way, this news has certainly come out of nowhere and was totally unexpected. Of course, Chris Jericho has a long history in WWE, where he spent close to 2 decades following his departure from WCW in 1999. He is a 6-time world champion, 9-time Intercontinental champion, along with so many more accolades to his name. The episode will air on Sunday 11th of April, directly following night 2 of WrestlePlanet 37 on Peacock and the WWE Network internationally. The show has previously featured stars such as The Undertaker, Randy Orton, Kurt Angle, Kane, and many more. Broken Skull Sessions sees Stone Cold Steve Austin sit down with his guest to discuss the highs and lows of their career, and Chris Jericho is next in line to take up the hot seat. We can expect to see him talk about his debut, his championship reigns, but one thing that is unlikely to come up is his AEW run, although we could be in for a surprise, but I wouldn't bank on it.